Hey, Coach. Well, I'm so happy you found us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell up above. We put out content just about every day. Also, go down below and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you're looking to become a better basketball coach, you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking for resources, teachhoops.com is the answer for you. Go over and check it out and have a great day.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Is that
Coach,
2 hours we're into the conversation and now just jumping on
that's
the
fine. Yes. So if my eyes look shot, everybody, those are you. Some of you might be listening. It's like, yeah,
it's been an hour and a half though, talking about
other stuff,
investing,
life,
family,
retirement,
yeah,
maybe start a poll,
trips. Oh my
trips,
gosh, yeah.
sickness, all sorts of stuff. Hey, before we get started, we've got a couple exciting announcements. Do you want to take those?
Sure,
You
yeah,
know the
we got a lot.
URLs. You know the URLs better
Yeah,
than me.
yeah, yeah. So we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up that you're going to be hearing from, if you're listening to this podcast on a regular basis. I encourage you to go get your name um, on this offer we're doing. So we're giving away a free coaches clinic to your organization. So if you're if you're a coach and you belong to a nonprofit group like a CYO, YMCA, or whatever
AU
local
something.
group,
Yep.
yeah, yep. Coach and I are gonna fly out, do a free coaches clinic for you, and all your coaches are going to get practice plans that we've created. So go over to coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic. Again, coachingyouthhoops/clinic. The contest will run, or giveaway is going to run from May to December. We'll do the drawing
Yeah. So it'll
at
probably
that
come out
time.
next spring. Maybe we come out during that. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure out the
We'll figure out the details. And then second, didn't we talk about second, third, fourth
yeah.
place things too?
Oh yeah, we got second, third. Yeah. So
Okay.
again, this is a drawing. So first place gets that free clinic, and all your coaches get a free practice plan. The second, you're going to get a IC3 shooting machine for your
Like a
organization.
$500 value.
Yeah, $500 value. Third place.
The
Third place.
first one's priceless. These kind of coach and I
Oh my
coming on
gosh. I
clinic
mean,
for you.
yes, absolutely. Um, I gotta look at what third place was. Third
Third
place.
place
Oh, third
was
place is
a subscription, right? An
yeah, you
individual.
get it for you as a coach. If we draw your name, you as the coach who signed up, you're gonna get a free subscription to Coaching Youth Hoops. Um, but everyone who does enter, you're automatically going to get something from us, which is our online coaches clinic. So
Yeah.
it's recorded, but still great value, lots of great resources
So even if you
to
sign
help you
up and
get your.
don't win, you're gonna get something.
You're going to get,
Gonna
so
you're gonna
everybody's a
get the
winner.
list. Everybody gets a trophy. You're
That's
gonna get to
right.
hear Coach Bill and I talk. Everybody gets a trophy. Yes.
So we dive deep into preseason practice planning, how to run tryouts. So it's a really good coaches clinic.
It's
And
very good.
normally we sell it, so we're giving it away for anybody who signs up.
Yep. And you
And
gotta
again,
sign.
Coaching Youth Hoops, you go over to coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic.
Yep.
Okay. And wait, coach, there's more.
There is. Go
Yes,
ahead.
there is. So second opportunity, coaches, we are, um, this is our first year doing practice plans for you guys. And, we listen to your feedback. We're incorporating your suggestions. We're coming out with an all new platform for this upcoming season. The practice plans are going to be dynamic. You're going to be able to change them. Right now they're static PDFs, but if you buy the package, you're going to get dynamic practice plans. They'll come preloaded with our suggestions by age group, right?
Yep.
We believe in that, kids learn at, what you should be teaching at every age group is going to be incorporated in that. But then you can fine tune them for your team. You can add your own drills, etc. So that's coming out. We're pretty excited about that launch. We've been working on that for some time. So it is a software program. You still can print or access the PDFs through the practice plans through your phone. So go ahead over there. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com/waitlist. Get on that waitlist if you're interested in hearing and seeing what we have coming up. And if you do get on that waitlist, you'll get a special prize, maybe a discount or two. So get on that waitlist and we'll tell
Coach
you
is
what
pausing because we haven't talked about that yet. That's why he's pausing.
on the fly,
On the fly. Hey, you got to wing it. Yeah,
gotta wing it sometimes, just like in practice.
Stanford. My Stanford dad shirt that cost me $20K. Anybody who's watching are laughing. All right, so today's topic. What's today's topic?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about practice planning, obviously, as we're launching this new platform. And, if you've been listening to the podcast long enough, Coach and I, you guys know we still coach, and we're always looking at ways to improve practice. But I'm throwing down a question to Coach today. What if we got practice plan or practices and practice planning wrong? What if it's the wrong structure?
Right.
We've been doing it the same way for years. How did I learn?
But have we been? Have you been? Are you doing the same thing? I'm not doing the same thing I was doing 30 years ago.
When you say the same thing, do you mean the same structure or you mean the same drills? I'm talking about the structure,
both.
Kind of a block structure, the time, how we do drills, how we think about drills, and even just their approach in general. And I want to tee this up. This is going to be a discussion we're going to be having all summer. And because I think it's worthy of diving deep into this subject, because you spend so much time in practice, and that's where we're supposed to be getting better. And that's where the improvement comes in, right? So not to say that games, you don't get better in games, but think about you, Coach.
What do you
right?
think the biggest issue as far as when you say practice wrong, what do you mean by that?
Well, if you go into our Facebook group, one thing that is sticking out to me are all the problems coaches are having managing kids, and they're asking questions about, the energy and effort is low in practice, right? They're coming, but they're just they're not paying attention. They're not really into the drills that we're doing. I think in this world of social media and, instant gratification, that I think the kids' minds are expecting that in basketball practice as well.
I think that's one of the problems. Refer to it as a TikTok world.
Yeah.
It's
right.
Snap. That's what's happening. It's like, so maybe that's one of the pivots. I know that's one of the pivots I've made. I was talking to a coach, I don't know, from South Carolina the other day my film sessions, my practices could be, I know I'm generalizing, their attention span was longer. 20 years ago, I could have a 45-minute film session, it would be fine. I wasn't losing them. I'm sure they weren't getting it all, but I wasn't losing them. So I think shortening and containing stuff is one way I think people try to do things. I am under the philosophy, if they don't get it right away, they ain't getting it. Like, you gotta, like,
oh, interesting. See, I don't believe it. I don't think that's necessarily, maybe at the high school level that is, but I think at the youth level,
I move on and I come back to it. I circle back.
Oh, that way. Way. Yeah,
I leave it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like I'm not gonna do it, but if we're not getting something, I leave it and I'll circle it back.
Yeah. You gotta move.
But I'll leave it fast. I'll leave it fast because it's like the wheels in the mud. They just keep spinning, and it's like that doesn't do you any good.
Well, I'm doing a lot of experimentation, and I've noticed I noticed this huge change in my team. I have an 7th and 8th grade team, and this is actually April. We're recording this in April. It marks 1 year that I've been with them. And from April, I would say through December, we didn't win very many games. And then from December on, we haven't lost very many games.
Right. Why
And
is
I'm
that?
thinking, what was the shift? Well,
Yeah,
the
the
shift,
why.
yeah, the why. A couple of things that I did was I knew something wasn't working. And I stepped back and thought, now this is very generic, but and I think, you know, in future episodes we're going to break this down into a lot more detail. Um, I went to, I'll call it, for lack of better terms right now, is to more focus on skills training. I thought, well, you can't dribble, can't shoot, can't pass. Why am I teaching team offense or team defense if, you know, they don't know how to pivot and the basics and the footwork and how to shoot a basketball and how to set the proper screen, right? Now you might think, well, duh, coach, that's what you're supposed to be doing, teaching them how to do that. When you only have 1 or 2 practices a week for a couple hours, right? It's hard to fit everything in. But I said, you know what? We're not even going to work on team offense, team defense.
Right.
We're just going to work, we're just going to do skills. We're going to do skills training. So we did skills training every week, twice or 3 times a week. Then the other big shift I did was incorporating more changed. So we would do it like, take a simple 3-on-3 drill. We run the same 3-on-3 drill, but the constraints change on that 3-on-3 drill. Sometimes it's more focused on offense, sometimes it's more focused on defense. And then I'm breaking our offense down into small pieces, right? And I'm saying,
Right.
okay, you can only score off a pick and roll, as an example, right? It's the only way
Right.
you can score. I don't care if you're right under the basket, you got to pull it back out, and we're only scoring off a pick and roll. Because what that does then, it says, you know, it really forces them to get a great screen, right, and be more efficient trying to score off the screen.
And talking about those constraints, again, stats teacher here, but it's referred to, it's like the pizza problem. And it's like, okay, so let's say, imagine you have a pizza, or the dinner problem. Actually, it wouldn't be the pizza problem, but it would be the dinner problem, where let's say you go to Applebee's and you've got 3 choices for appetizers, 4 choices for the main course, and 2 desserts. That gives you 24 different types of meals you can have. So when you start changing 1 or 2 constraints,
That's right,
you have so many different opportunities to teach so many different things. So I think coaches forget that sometimes, that it's not necessarily tanking the quote unquote drill. It's what are you doing to, you know, shift that a little bit, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I did yesterday is a perfect example. We've been running a very similar drill for a while, but then I just had this thought of, I asked the kids, well, how can we make this different, better, fun? What do you think is fun? What are more constraints? So here's the drill. Kids are in we call it queen of the court. Kids are in the key. Everybody has a ball. And now you're knocking the ball out of the other players, right? And then once you knock the ball out, you've been traditionally out, and then it gets down to 2 people, and then, right? So it's competitive. They have a ball in their hand versus just stationary dribbling. Great. So I asked them, I said, okay, you have 30 seconds, pair up, you have 30 seconds to come up with better or enhanced or something you think would be more fun to make this more challenging. So they came back with ideas, and this is the other way I started engaging them a lot more in the practices, which got them more excited because they felt a part of it. And now they always want to do this game to start off practice. So what they came back with, they said, okay, well, if I knock Steve's ball out, I have to make a layup. If I miss the layup, Steve is back in. I'll be like, okay, that puts pressure on the layup and making the layup, right?
I like
And
that.
then if I knock your ball out, I make the layup, you're out. But now you can do a buy-in by going down and shooting I do it age appropriately. So my older girls, they have to shoot a 3-point shot. If they make it, they're back in the game. if they miss it, now they're out. They can't buy themselves back in. The younger girls, I just move them up. So they go from they have to go shoot a free throw. If they make their free throw, then they come back in. Right. So it puts pressure on them shooting to get back in. They're not sitting and watching the game. And these games go pretty quickly.
It's like
right?
bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. Or I had them the other day, I had my 5th and 6th graders, you can only dribble with your left hand. Right. So you put a constraint on them when they're inside the key. So you're working on a lot of different stuff at the same time, and it's more, it's competitive. It's more, it's more game based than it has those game elements to it. Right. So,
I like that.
And again, if you give that, I've said this for you, practice should be ugly. It shouldn't be this beautiful.
There should be a lot of
orchestrated-
mistakes. It should be a lot of mistakes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
then if you think about
go
it-
back to your original question. Have we gotten basketball practice wrong?
I think it wasn't wrong for the time, and that's what we knew. I mean, think about where did you learn? You learned from either coach that coached you or somebody you worked with how to do a practice plan, and they learned from that coach prior, who learned from that
coach, right?
From that coach. Well, why is that the best way to learn for today's kids? Maybe it's not, and maybe we need to take a step back and think about, well, how do we keep kids engaged more when they have this, like, I need instant results, right? Or instant gratification, or they're used to game. If you read, which I encourage you to do, is sign up for our email newsletter. I did a newsletter on gamification and gamifying practice.
I think that's so important. I've become a fan of that in the sense that it just, and again, it makes it more competitive. It makes it more fun. It's more like, yes.
What do you do for that? I'm just curious.
I tend to keep score on just about everything we do.
Yeah,
and there tends to be a consequence for just about everything we do. They like it. When I don't do it, then they get mad.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's another subject that we should talk about: consequences. What's a consequence?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, let's save that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this one, Coach?
No, coaches, what I encourage you to do is stay locked into the podcast. We're going to explore this subject of practice planning for the next few episodes, because we think it's such an important piece that needs to be rethought and re-examined and just questioned at the very least.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Till next week, Coach.
Till next week, Coach.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Second all, go check teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you put banners and stuff in your gym and become a nationally ranked coach, win more games in less time. Teachhoops.com is a community that will allow you to do that. Go over and check it out, and go check the next video out. Bye.